Devin?
Oh, God.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Dire Bear. Welcome to Falskallan Nights. I am your host, the Bard with no name. I've already forgotten what we're endorsing here. You know what? Matt, take it.
Okay, we're doing it live. So, as always, thank you so much to one of our sponsors, D&D Beyond. Without you, we wouldn't be able to keep track of all the things and help me, maybe take notes. It's possible, I'm told, but I don't do it. Next on the docket, we have merch. Lots of nice, fashionable merch. Wear it with pride. Then we got other things. We have. It's been so long.
Melody of the Maelstrom?
Yes, Melody of the Maelstrom. That is another game that you should all check out. It is quite a melodramatic maelstrom, a storm, some would say. We also have No Effects May Vary. Yes.
That's Charminar's band. Yes.
Yes. The one and only Charminar. And so, should definitely check them out as well. The effects may vary, but the music is always awesome. Do we have any other
Tuesday game?
What?
Tuesday game changed name, actually. I think changed game altogether.
Tuesday night. We have Abomination Alley. Welcome to Abbey Shores. It's a New Year's Eve 1924, and a party is going to be ruined by murder. It's an urban fantasy based in the roaring 20s using the basic role-playing rules.
Jeez, no.
So check that out every Tuesday. And with that, back to you.
I don't think that was it.
We also have Patreon.
And a Patreon.
So if you would like to support Dire Bear, you can feel free to go on Patreon and find us. And the confusion with FX May Vary. FX May Vary runs Melody of the Maelstrom, or one of them does. And they made our outro music.
Yes. Well, that being said, I'm excited to get into tonight's episode of Falskallan Nights because it's the first of the year. I've been brewing this up for about 3 weeks now. I've had a great holiday. It's nice to get good rest in. It's nice to get the celebrations in. It's also nice to come back to reality. It's only been a week and a half and I still want to cry, but it's okay. That's what friends are for. That being said, let's get into tonight's episode of Falskallan Nights.
All right, to the technical difficulties.
Last time on Falskallan Nights, Team Them started making their way to Alska, a little town in the eastern side of Falskalla. Words, I'm already off to a great start. That being said, we're going to start ourselves off right there. It's been about pretty much 5 days of good traveling hitting all the small towns in between, seeing Menestad again, Menestar, traveling through. You have your horses with you, which I've brazenly forgotten their names. Wind Biscuit and Flutter Toots or something like that.
Oh, it was like Flutterhoof or
You're the ones with the notes.
Yep. I think it was
Flutterhoof and Wind Biscuit.
and Flutterhoof, I believe so.
The hard-hitting questions.
Yep, that's correct.
But that being said, on the trail, it's coming into midday. You finally round across a hill to see the town where it all started. Halsterian, Spleen, Howard, welcome back to Alska. A sleepy little hovel that's nestled on the Velen Rapids. It has a bunch of surrounding farmsteads. Wow, I'm really out of practice with this. Has a lot of surrounding farmsteads in it to really feed the area. It seems like it's more or less just kind of left alone in its own little slice of heaven piece. And it is there that you guys had started your first mission. That being the case, the town seems a little sleepy. It doesn't seem to be a lot of movement going on. Traveling through, you see a lot of the farm hands just kind of working the fields and kind of taking no mind to you guys, just seemingly doing their own stuff. But eventually you do make it into the middle of the town. And there's a central well there. A bunch of buildings surrounding, doing more of like a spoke pattern leading out. But there's a sense of familiarity, a sense of calm. Team Them, you've been told to look for a human named Dorn. He's one of the dock masters. This was from Sabrak himself. He would set you up with safe passage across the Velen Rapids. As with that, what do you guys do?
You said set us up passage across the rapids and look for him in the port?
Yeah.
Does anyone need a rest, or do we want to head straight to the port and get things arranged before we find an inn?
Probably that.
Which one, Spleen?
I don't know.
Wait.
I think we should go find an inn first, because Spleen needs some sleep.
Is that spleen or given?
Yes.
All right. So then you guys go? That's the general consensus?
Yes.
Lively bunch you are. It's cutting your way through the town. You eventually reach the port area. It's more or less like 2 or 3 docks that have been jettied into the water itself and kind of staked in with a bunch of old oak and tree stumps or like logs. Doesn't seem to be a lot, but you see one man sitting on a chair, just kind of looking over the docks. He long straw sticking out of his mouth, just kind of chewing on it. He's got this old scraggly nose, just like this big ass bushy beard, and looks fairly unremarkable in his own right. He's just kind of looks at you guys, gives you a nod, and then just doesn't even acknowledge you straight out. Just
Friendly place this is.
Welcoming as always.
Well, we go in.
go into what?
Gotta go. Yeah, I'm checking.
In.
What?
Well, you guys are not going to roleplay the dock.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to the inn first.
I thought you were going to the dock first.
I don't know what.
You guys told me the dock.
Spleen off at an inn. Actually, Spleen can sleep in the
Spleen.
cart. We're going to the dock.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I don't need a bed to sleep.
There's just a disc behind us with a spleen splayed out, full eagle.
You go, bitch.
She talks
So
in her
I
sleep.
take that back. I don't go into the ship.
You have to bitch.
Darko.
Which is funny because you see a bunch of like rowing boats. You see a bunch of rowing boats that have been moored onto the docks themselves, and you see one rather large barge. Yep. Looks to be that could handle a lot more cargo and such. Again, guy's just sitting there. He kind of looking at you. He's not making a move. He's just chewing on the piece of straw.
Hi.
Hmm.
I'm you. Looking for a fella by the name of Dawn.
Speaking.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Sabrak sent us, and yeah, he said you could help us out get across the rapids.
Yep, I can do that. Yeah, I sent word a couple days ago.
Oh, well, yeah, that's good to hear. So I guess we want to leave ASAP, guys. As suddenly as probable.
Is there any timing that's best for this? How do we cross?
How much stuff you're bringing?
About what you can see right now.
You're bringing the horses in the cart too?
Probably leave them here at a stable at the
I don't know. I feel like it would be preferable since we don't really know how far we're going.
It'd be smart to leave them behind. Rapids are real rough this time of year.
We also don't know what kind of terrain we're going to face on the other side.
Well, fair enough. I've been out of ocean before, so very well.
I'm not against it. It just, yeah, I don't remember it being really like cart carriage friendly last time.
Yeah, Yimmer, your memory of that whole area is more or less like it's a very rocky terrain. And even though, yes, there is remnants of the old royal path that was there, it's gone to disarray, and it's very much like a cart will definitely have a hard time going across. But then you've also made the trip across the Velen Rapids, and at the best of times, they're quite treacherous. So
Yeah, look, I would love to not have to walk, but like, I don't think we really have a good choice other than walk.
Very well.
All right. Well, we can hook you up with a stable in town. That being said, probably best to do it in the morning. It's going to take a while for us to get across. And that being said, it'd also be good for you guys to get a good sleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that.
And where would the stable be?
Yeah, just head into town, look for the arrowhead.
Got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the morning. I'll get myself prepped.
Is there anything we should bring to help, or?
I got everything myself. We'll be okay. But probably eat light. It's going to be turbulent.
Got it.
So we go to the
Now you're going in. Turning the cart around, you head back into town. It only takes about 5 minutes on the cart to get there, but just kind of up a little bit of a winding path, and you eventually make yourself back into the center of the town. And you see a couple people. You ask for the arrow's head, and they kind of point you in the direction of a house that literally has a giant arrow's head on it.
Is this like one of those tacky? We have the biggest arrowhead.
It's not tacky. It's wholesome, and it brings the community together.
World's biggest rubber band ball.
And in the new year, they slowly drop the arrowhead.
This starts singing Old Lang Syne Elvish. You walk into the front door, and you see basically just like a hoveled old woman, just like curled over just what looks to be like a boiling pot of, well, stew. It smells really nice in this place. It smells really nice, but the place is very much outdated. It's you're walking into Nona's place.
Yeah, no.
You got the spoon on the wall. The wallpaper hasn't been changed for at least 100 years.
Yeah, but if you like move a picture, it's like underneath or behind it is like bright color of like fresh wallpaper, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, pretty much
Let's
exactly that.
make that crooked again.
And she just looks up. How can I help you?
We want to stay.
You're looking for a place to stay?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you say so? All right. What do you? So, how many horses? What?
2 horses and a cart. Those need to be here for an extended time, and then the 6 of us here, 5 of us here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, we'll take care of them. It'll cost a little bit of money, but that's okay. We have the feed. She just turns around. Chapman, get out here!
I was waiting for it. I was like, there's. She's also. Either she was gonna get up and be like.
And you see like a giant man walk out. He looks to be like in his early 20s, desperately trying to grow a mustache, and it's just not working right. Short crop blonde hair, sterling blue eyes, and he just, can I help you? And she just turns around. These people need to be tended to. Can you please take their stuff to their rooms and deal with the horses? I could do that. He starts walking. I take your stuff, and he just starts grabbing like your bags and your satchels and your pouches just from your hands, all of you. Please follow me.
Thank you.
It turns around, he takes you to your room. It's very much like Nona's place. It's like a row of beds. I picture hanging over every one of them, wainscoting that hasn't really been touched in a very long time. A couple of bookshelves with like 3 books on them, and they're all seem to be fairly worn. And like one of them's the King James Bible.
I must say the Bible. Like, thank you. Kindling for the fire. Thank you.
No, don't touch that. She'll hurt you.
Oh, it's cursed. Understood.
Yeah, so all your stuff gets collected and put inside. Flutterhoof and Windbiscuit get brought to the stable and behind the backside. At that point, if you guys got some role playing to do, let me know, or I'm just gonna start skipping stuff ahead. Or like, what are you trying to prep? What's your mentality? How you gonna make this plan of attack? What's going on?
I think I'm just gonna be going over spells for potential use for rapids and dangerous terrain. The prep in the morning.
Yeah.
Bees rubbing Spleen's feet.
Oh, I'm past. Fuck out. I'm out.
Round.
Halsterian will be looking at a map of what he managed to get off of someone of the rapids themselves. Make a plan that will probably not be followed, but he wants to have a plan nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Yimmer. It's just getting high on his own supply.
Yep.
Right up. So the night passes, and you all seem to have gotten yourself a really nice rest. You wake up in the morning to the smell of freshly cooked bacon, sausages, bread, eggs, just a full-on English breakfast. It's hearty, it is filling, it is wholesome.
American slam.
We got Texas toast out here in Alaska.
Yes.
We build them bigger out here.
Just by that giant arrowhead.
Took them off the old natives out here. Talking about some sort of land rights. That being said, yeah, no, you guys have a full meal, and you'll start making your way out to Dorne.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Right on. So you eventually make it back to the dock, and Dorne seems to have the barge pretty much prepped and ready to go. Pretty much, it looks the same as it did yesterday, but he's now on the boat instead of outside of it. He just looks up, and at this point, you see like a very tall and scraggly man, but you see like tendons and muscles that just like every time he moves, you could see them flex and just like expand with the tensions.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you see him also manhandle giant ropes, just like He grabs it, whips it, and ends up like creating a knot on the other side of a boat, pulls it taut, ties everything together. And he just says, right, the idea here is you're going to be hanging on for dear life. It's best to have yourselves tied off to the barge itself. I'm going to be taking control here.
Right.
Rapids are treacherous this time of year because of the snow melts up in the mountains. Makes it for much worse conditions and, well, not fun times. I would not want to go out there if I wasn't being paid a very serious, substantial fund. So, all I'm going to say is, if I need your help, I will ask you. And I'm going to need you guys to listen when I say we need to move our weight. Because we're more than likely going to need to do that. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Captain.
Perfect. I appreciate the patronage. And welcome to the Triton.
Woo!
At this point, he kicks. At this point, he basically unanchors himself. He pushes the barge off the dock. It starts going, and he's still on the dock itself. He has the oar in hand. He just waits a little bit, and you guys start floating down. You just see he just pulls back, runs up, whoom, jumps, sticks the oar into the water itself, and he flings himself right into the barge. It lands just up. You feel like the large thud, and you feel the barge just shift under the weight of everything. And it stabilizes itself back up. He's got the oar in hand now. It's like, all right, watch this. Sticks his oar in the water, just flips it around. You see the barge just start moving in motion with him. And it seems like this guy's been doing this for years at this point. For years, if not decades. Clearly a man who understood the powers of this river and understands how his boat would handle upon all of this. At the point, he starts setting himself east, and he just starts rowing. And the thing is, it's like he has the oar right behind the boat, but the way he's shifting and moving everything, it's just pushing everything forward. And you kind of get the point of like, oh, you can see where he's gotten all this ridiculous strength from.
And like, how rough is it for us right now at this point? Just taking off.
Like, as of right now, you guys are pretty much starting out, and the river seems to, like, around the banks, they don't seem to be too rough at the moment. It's kind of like as soon as you get into the center of it is where it's really going to start becoming a real hassle and issue. But as of right now, you're in the protection of like the sandbanks and the shoals. And he just keeps pushing everything forward. I'd like one of y'all to roll a D100 for me.
Ooh. Somebody roll it.
I can do it. Go ahead.
I'm so excited for this water adventure, y'all. This is gonna be so cool.
Splash Mountain.
Whee!
It did sound like a ride at first.
Welcome to the
Welcome to the Triton.
yeah.
Dead man tell no tales.
What did you roll, Steve?
64.
Oh, so close.
Damn, so close.
No one has fun.
There was no fun to be had. Okay. The water is blue. It's like a very deep enriched blue that's just like obviously gets that way because it's being fed through like natural spring waters and then the snow melts that are coming right through. It doesn't seem to have had any real sediment or any sort of indications of tampering at all. You guys are moving forward at a pretty good pace, but an hour goes by and it doesn't seem like you're getting closer to the edge, to the eastern side of the Velen Rapids. This is a very, very large river. Like the best way I could probably describe it is it's kind of like the Mississippi at the mouth in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
It is large. And so he's still just going along. The sun is beating down on all of you. And he finally makes it past a certain spot where it's like, all right, now this is where it's going to start getting rough. We're going to probably have to start shifting weight left and right wherever we may need it. But as of right now, I can see a line. And so at this point, I'd like you guys to make just dexterity checks.
Oh boy.
Wait, why did I roll 2 dice?
Dexterity
Oh,
check.
boy.
Just to check. Yeah. So, okay, what'd you guys get? B, what'd you get?
18.
Juju,
13.
Spleen,
9.
Yimmer,
12.
Steve.
6.
Ooh. You all go into the drink. That's it. Game over.
Just get dragged.
It's at this point you start hitting a bunch of like little rolls into the water. It's starting to the barge is starting to rock back and forth, and at this point you guys are tied off, trying to find your balance and whatnot. Trying to find your balance while trying to maintain a certain sense of like stability within the barge itself. You are you're having a real rough time just trying to hold on into this. And you see Dorn just look up. Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's like he points at you two, and basically the two who'd failed, Steve and
Me, this one.
yeah,
The one
Steve and
that-
Spleen, Alsterian and
the one
Spleen.
that- Yep.
You're gonna have to come back here. And so, like, do you guys do it?
Yeah.
I
feel
don't know.
like they probably
keep
make a Constitution check at some point. Then
Oh, you haven't even hit the beginning. You haven't even hit the good stuff yet.
I know.
Spleen is giggling, and it's just like crawling, hands and knees, like trying to get up, and just like having a fun time.
All right, little missy,
Easier
come
for
on,
you.
let's
You
go.
have a lower center of gravity.
All right, let's keep moving. He starts pushing just a little bit harder, just a little bit further. Further up. You guys bring it back, and it seems to like he seems to the barge seems to stabilize a heck of a lot better, and it actually starts moving a lot quicker now that it has a better purchase of hitting rolls and whatnot. Again, you're still moving, and at this point you're more or less like 3 hours in. This is a very long journey, especially for one person, and Dorn doesn't look like he's bothered by this whatsoever, just going. He still's got that large straw hat, the straw sticking out, although the straw is significantly less now as he's been chewing on it all day. Just Just keeps moving. At one point, he'll like pick up the oar, take a drink from one of the sacks of water that he has. Just takes a sip, puts it back, keeps on keeping on. I'd like for you guys to make a Constitution saving throw, please. The waters are now starting to get real rough. You start understanding where the term the rapids come from. And Yimmer, this isn't the first time you've been across. But normally you've done it with a larger ship. A barge like this seems so crazy. All right. Beatrice, what'd you get?
22.
Howard.
6.
Spleen.
25.
Halsterian.
18.
Yimmer.
5.
Nice. Howard, Yimmer. Oh, you're starting to feel a bit queasy. It's like the rolling is starting to really, like, it's starting to go back and forth. And at this point, the barge seems to be like at the whims of whatever the rapids are. And you see like these rolls coming in back and forth. And at a certain point, you start seeing rocks that are coming out of the water. Like, it is not safe conditions, but Dorn is just looking. All right, this is where the fun begins. He starts bringing it around and he starts weaving in through the rocks. At this point, actually, I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay.
It's like the whirlpool that we went on Juju's Deep. But not awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At this point, he starts going. He's like, oh, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, no. And you start seeing the barge just kind of like Tokyo drift itself, almost landing itself into a rock. At that point, he's like, you guys help me out. He puts the oar onto the rock that's coming up. And like this oar is super extended and long.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it's had years of use and whatnot, and treatment and whatnot. You see like leather strands wrapped around it, and like metal pieces that have been stuck right in to kind of keep it from breaking and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And he puts it on. He's like, "I'm gonna need your help. Come here."
He's trying to push off the rock.
Exactly.
He's calling for all of us.
Somebody.
I'm coming.
I'm going.
I'm gonna let the strong ones do it.
It's how many people are coming? So as 3 of you start coming into the back, the barge starts tilting just a little bit back. I need just one of you.
I'm gonna cast enlarge on myself on the opposite side of the barge to try and balance the weight some.
As the 3 of you come back, Juju, you cast enlarge on yourself. You start. Yimmer, make a Constitution.
Sorry, Yim. I prepared very specific spells for this.
Of course, you would be high during this trip.
The rapids are all just like rainbows, multicolored.
He's like a rainbow.
I don't want to taste the rainbow.
That being said, okay, so 3 of you come back. He basically rejects like Beatrice and Halsterian. Spleen, you come up. Make a strength check with advantage because he's helping you.
19.
19? Okay. All right, good. And with his strength check, you both start pushing this off, but it was pretty fucking close to a hit. The other, at that point, he's like, all right, thank you, Missy. All right, I need you all to spread out. And he like basically starts shouting positions like you up at the aft, you the fore, you on the starboard port. Like he just starts pointing you in directions where you need to sit for this portion of it. He takes the oar out and he starts like he does this wide sweeping motion and pushes and swings the barge back into position, which then he throws the oar back and starts rowing as hard as he can. It's at this point you start seeing like the barge just slaloming back and forth between the jutting rocks that are coming out of here. Make another Constitution saving throw, please.
There it is.
All right, B.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Howard.
Rolling great. That's a 5.
Nice. Spleen.
18.
Halsterian.
6.
Yimmer.
Natural 20.
Nice. Yimmer, the rainbows are starting to make sense to you, and you're like, oh! I'm just rolling with it.
What happened? Uh-oh.
I'm just rolling with it. But those who rolled under a 10, you're hurling.
We're
You
gonna
raising
party
your
boon,
hand?
and you got a point of luck, JT.
I got a point of luck.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Whose was this from?
Otter.
Otter.
From
Oh.
one of these things is not like the otter.
To host. Yeah.
Everybody gets a D8 inspiration die for the party boon.
Gee. Ooh.
Take one of them.
You're
Let's
gonna
put
have
that
to
right
remember
there.
that. That being
Yep.
said,
8.
that being said, he's slaloming through these series of jutting rocks that have been setting out, and the rapids are all warping around it, creating like these little whirlpools. He looks up and he's like, "All right, here's the last main obstacle here," and he looks. You see what looks to be like a whirlpool, pretty much centered, like a giant whirlpool that is centered on in the middle of the rapids itself. It's like, all right, watch this. He takes the pole, he sticks it in, and he starts shifting the barge into a position where it'll get caught, and he starts coming in. It's like, I'm gonna use that luck. Thank God for that.
He's like, watch this.
Straight in.
He just flips it over. It's like, all right, I'm gonna need you guys back here with me.
Right, I'm making my way over.
Roll it over.
And at this point, you see, like, you guys start coming back, and the barge starts tilting forward. He starts shifting the oar back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the barge at this point, nose up, goes right into the whirlpool. And at that point, you guys, every one of you feels like this full-on force of like the roller coaster effect, just a little bit of a G-force effect. You're going faster than you've really ever gone before. And so at this point, it's taking into the whirl's effect. At this point, you start realizing, actually, nah, don't worry about it. I was like, make an intelligence check, and I'm like, nah, we're fine. I'm gonna explain it anyway because this is my story.
This is my
Y'all-
this is my time.
This is my time. Girl. No. He starts riding the waves and the suction of the whirlpool to try and slingshot his way out, and he does exactly that. You feel the barge starting to get pulled into the center of this whirlpool that would almost lose every bit of momentum, but he gets so close to the point, and he tilts the oar in such a way, he pulls out this, puts it into a position, and he asks Spleen for help again, just to help him hold it. And you do exactly that. The barge just kind of flips up and rolls out onto the other side.
It's like that one scene from Treasure Planet where they were getting sucked into the black hole and they had the slingshot.
That movie.
That's such a great movie. I gotta watch that.
Yeah. Also, Interstellar as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
Just use the momentum to your advantage.
That movie made me sad.
That one's very sad.
Yeah. I like it. It made me feel ugly. That being said, you make it out onto the other side. Whew.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or river water.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are drenched with water at this point, and it is not fun. Your stuff is all still very much contained and tied in netting and like in the netting and tarps that have been laid over top. But you guys helping him shift everything, moving forward. About 6 hours in, and again moving in through rapids and whatnot. But you do eventually make it to the other side of the river to a point where it's safe passage, to a safe point. At this point, he pulls the oar out. He's like, "All right, can one of y'all take this for me? I need to rest."
I'll hold it. What am I holding?
He has the oar.
Okay.
And he basically gives it to you, and it looks comically large being held by you. It's basically just like what a Macedonian spearman in one of those phalanx formations where it's just like it's an absurdly long spear. But he basically just like he grabs the chair that was pretty much tied and tethered to one side of the place where he was basically just doing the whole oaring. He's sitting down and it's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna stick this on this little hook here, and it's basically just a resting spot for the oar. And all you're gonna do is go back and forth. If I gotta tell you to turn right, this is what you do. If I gotta tell you to turn left, this is what you're gonna have to do. Okay?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right.
Looking at the group.
Thank you. Thank you. And so he sits there and rests. He's resting. As Spleen, you're gonna navigate there. So you're not gonna make a roll.
I was like, oh no.
No, he's there. He's there beside you, basically still telling you what to do. But at this point, you're on the other side of the river, and you start seeing the banks come up. You also see, Yimmer, a very familiar sight.
Oh, I think I've been here before.
Yeah. You guys end up, eventually, by the time the sun sets, you hit Port Delorn. And what you see is very much just like, it's not destroyed, but it's very damaged. You see the scorch marks, but you also see signs of frost. That's weird. That's very weird. Dorn basically pulls right up beside the dock that's there, and it looks like it's in rough shape, but still sturdy enough for him to kind of moor everything up and get everything tied down. He just looks, my job is to get you across. Getting yourself back, you might have to have a conversation with Zabrak.
How do you, like, go back?
The same way I went across. But I'm not leaving until tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, last time I was here, this was overrun with, orcs and such, and the dragon, so it's looking better. Say a market improvement.
At the mention of a dragon, he like his eyes just like. Do you know if that thing is still around?
We were told he
no.
was killed. Very
Okay.
violently killed.
All right.
But on the off chance that there is another one or some crazy shit, we can look around the area and give you some shelter for the night.
That would be much appreciated. I don't know why Sabrak wants you all back here. But I'm not even going to venture to guess. Get your shit. I guess you're going to start getting making some shelter then, aren't you?
We will, after we look around a little bit, make sure things are safe. We can create some magical shelter for us. So
Perfect.
it's not
Sure.
the best, but it's decent.
It'll be warm.
Yep.
Perfect. Right. Well, I'm going to take a look over my barge and make sure she's not going to take on any more water than she needs to.
If it needs any repairs, we can help with that later on.
Much appreciate that. All right. So you guys basically start unpacking all your stuff, and you go back in Yimmer. You go back into Port Delorn, and you see, you see the damage that had been caused by the goblin and orcs that had been here. But you round the corner, and you guys see the body of an adult white dragon. It looks like it's still in the middle of its decomposition. The smell is not great.
Oh,
It's pungent to be very least, but it also looks like there's a lot of like things that have been picking at it as well. So like a bunch of the scales have kind of loosed itself now that it's like starting to get kind of like slaw and sloppy. But make investigation checks.
Adley. Actually, no.
This scent is going great with my seasickness, I assure you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey.
Oh, investigation. I'm so good at that.
is it weird that I see the smell?
Yes, that is weird. I don't like that at all.
It's a very angry smell.
Okay, what'd you guys get?
18.
18,
23.
23, spleen,
5.
5, Yim,
19.
Halsterian,
8.
8. Cool. So, Juju, well, you all see the very, very obvious hole in the stomach. Juju, you get a little bit closer, and as like you get closer, the ground is still frozen. Like the area where this dragon presides, it is cold, but it seems to be like it's starting to quote unquote warm up. Is why the decomposition composition process is starting to go. But you get closer and you realize that everything is from the inside out. You see the busted like the busted rib cage and like the intestines and everything just that have been violently ripped through.
It's like when whales explode on beaches.
The spleen would know all about that.
What's a whale?
It's a big fish. It's like a big. It's like if you have a cow, but fish, but bigger. So a cow that's really big, but fish.
A bigger cowfish.
Yeah, cowfish.
It's a mammal.
But it's what?
It's a mamish.
Man.
God.
Yeah, they're really big. And they just die
That's
on
they
beaches.
get really big and then they die on beaches.
Yeah. And then they get old and then they just blow up. I mean,
They get gassy and explode.
yep.
Gross.
It's a nice little play area for the kids.
Oh.
You can play
Sounds like a
house
lot
in the
there.
carcass.
What's the car?
God. I love that you're getting your role play back, but really?
Yeah. Do you think that this happened to the dragon? Did it get gassy?
No, I think it, swallowed someone it shouldn't have tried to swallow, and they ripped their way out.
Oh,
Remember?
like Ronit?
Yeah.
Yes. Its lunch literally disagreed with it.
How
Precisely.
old does this look?
How old?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the timeline.
Like, does it look almost a year old? Like,
Pretty much. Like it looks. It looks like the dragon that had attacked you.
okay, so, have we been together and seen Body No Dodge with a dragon before?
I mean, from what you and Diamondback said, yes.
Oh, but like, have we seen it since Diamondback and I said we saw it? Or just him?
Not that I know of.
No.
Okay, I was just imagining it. That's good. Just one dragon then? So I guess this is that dragon? I had it in my head that we saw him with again, and so I was like, oh no, 2 dragons, but just one. So,
That, fair enough. That would be incredibly worrisome.
I'm gonna send a message to Diamondback. Hey, Diamondback, there was only one dragon, right, at Port Delorn?
You hear from the void. Ah, dear God, hope so. Also, hi guys, it's been a while.
been a
I will
while.
send him an obligatory next one. Just be like, hey, how's it going? We're at Port Delorn.
Are you
We
pooping?
miss
Dead
you.
dragon. We miss you. Love you guys.
I miss you guys too. Things are going all right. We're kind of getting hammered at the moment, but give us a shout back in maybe a couple hours.
Alrighty.
Damn.
We'll do that. Save the last third slot.
Hammer, did we give Diamondback any slide and fill?
No, this was before.
Damn.
Bad.
Yeah, Gimmer got less responsible.
Yeah, that's how Yima coped.
Actually, the Slide and Fill saga.
Actually, no, that was while he was.
It was while he was
Prison.
while he was in prison. You broke him out, and then he left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't get
So
it.
you had an opportunity. Did you do it then?
I don't think so. Because it was very quick, because it was very
It was
emotional and all that.
reviving him and all that, yeah.
So
Yeah.
not exactly an appropriate time. Even Yima knew
Revived
that.
him. Here, have a Viagra.
Responsible Yim showing his head again.
We don't have the process.
It's just-
So just we'll wake it up.
Diamondback, now that you're alive, you might want to use this.
Why do you sound like Stewie?
Oh my god.
I'll send it to him in an unmarked package.
Oh no.
He will.
Nondescript package for his
Yes,
own.
send a revolutionist an unmarked package. And watch how that falls.
Well, it will say "eat me" on it.
It just has a drawing of a mushroom on it.
Mind you,
That's
that would be your
definitely
calling
art.
card. It's like just Sharon. Darling, what is this? It's like, let me take a look at this. Oh.
Yep, it's a mushroom, but it's kind of really phallic looking. It's like, oh.
Don't eat it.
Well, anyway.
Does any of the corpse look like it is potentially harvestable?
I mean, yeah. It's. I don't know what you're trying to harvest, but.
I don't know. I know that dragons are considered valuable by the Academy, or dragon parts, so.
Some scales and a talon, perhaps.
If we can,
Teeth.
we'll see if any of the fangs are intact.
Give me
Oh, yes, that would be quite nice.
We
Give
can
me
get
one
anything loose.
1 second, please.
B, how big is that bag? Opening, like over there measuring it to the teeth.
Oh, slide and
Big as
chill
the bag of
dragon.
holding.
Put the whole
God.
skull in. It'll be fine.
Oh.
My god, it's bad dragon.
We're not harvesting that part. I'm sorry. That's if that's going to happen, that's going to be very quickly.
Like I kind of have to now.
You give your orgasm a breath weapon.
Oh my god. Oh no. I'm gonna come. Watch out. Watch
It
out.
just turns into the Hancock that one scene, throws her off. Boom, boom, boom. That's just not fair to anybody.
Oh my god. Okay, so what do you guys? Okay,
The bag of holding is 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. So I think we can fit a good amount in the 2 feet.
Okay.
And if anything, we could just like wiggle like it's a bag, right? So like we get a little bit in, and then we move the bag a little bit, and then it's just like we make it work.
So we'll see if we can find intact claws, teeth, scales. Probably not going to touch the blood because it's been here a while, even if frozen. Like, blood's probably not fresh anymore.
all right. So, okay, make a nature check to whomever is doing the harvest.
I can help
Any
as
chance I could
well.
make medicine?
So
Yeah.
people have so
Gibberish.
advanced-
Well, medicine. Why medicine?
Because I'm making things with it.
You need to first harvest it first
Yep.
before you're gonna make something with it.
I'll make that check.
So you had
The
last.
spleens help. That is a. Ooh. Damn, those are some good rolls. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, where's that D8 too? Might as well use it while I'm thinking about it. If I can find a damn D8. Why do I grab all the wrong ones? Fuck it.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Hey, no. That's for 23, 28.
28?
Yes.
Okay, so you're searching for good points to start harvesting a bunch of stuff off this dragon, and a lot of it seems to have already started loosening pretty easily. So you start pulling at dragon scales, and like they start feeling like they're loose, but you still have to get like a knife in underneath to try and cut whatever the skin is there. And as soon as you start doing it, you just they really, it's like it's held on by like a tendon,
Mhm.
or some sort of like, I'm not too sure how scales work other than they just exist.
They just exist there.
Yeah, they just exist and they're assholes.
Yeah.
But at this point, Howard, you start going through all this stuff and like all the stuff. You're harvesting scales at an incredible rate. You're just doing that, but you also start getting into like where the horns are, and you see like two pointed horns. One, like they're both pretty much like slicked back and then kind of crested up. And you start pulling on it, and I mean, yeah, it's bone, but you start realizing that if you could, you start shifting it one way or another, and then with Spleen's help, she starts taking an axe to it. You break it off at a certain point where you just crack, and you've got one, and then you do the other one, and you crack it again. So you've got one of those. And in around where the where the arms are basically draped over, they're pretty much the most decayed because they seem to have lost their cold the quickest, being the furthest point away from the body and also quote unquote the smallest. You start picking away at the flesh that's there in the meat. It is not fun to be around, but you start pulling bones out left, right, and center. Left, right, and center in there. You go over to the mouth, and like the maw is pretty much like full on open, tongue down, and looks like a lot of like flies are carrying and like picked away at a lot of the flesh that's in between. And Spleen, you start going in, just start harvesting tooth by tooth by tooth, and you've been very pretty good at honing your craft, especially when it comes to harvesting, but cracking tooth off. You would have like a specialty, like I wouldn't say chisel, but like a knife meant to be used in such a way. You start cracking teeth out left, right, and center. Howard, you're smart enough to know that like you could try and pick flesh off, but a lot of this is already past the point of where it's really useful. But at this point, I'm just gonna give you the straight out answer to this instead of trying to make you guess for it. You guys get about 40 pounds worth of dragon scales that are all about 3,500 gold worth. You'll get 25 pounds worth of dragon horn. They're each worth 1,500 gold.
That was which one?
Horn. Dragon bone. Pretty much per bone is about 100. So you've got six decently good bone. Like decent sized and whatnot, and instead of like just tiny little fucking finger nibs. And you got 10 dragon tooth, which would be about 100 gold per. All white dragon.
Alright.
Damn.
You said how many teeth? 10?
Yes.
And the scales came out to a grand total roughly worth of 3,500.
Yeah.
And what was the worth on the horns?
15.
1,500 total.
Yep. No, sorry, per. Per.
Thank you.
So yeah. But that's basically your whole evening. So at that point it comes down to the rest of you guys. Like, what are you up to? Like, there are still buildings here that are unexplored, and
Yeah, well, Howard and I are doing this. Someone, find shelter for what's his nuts out there.
I mean, and ourselves for the night at least.
Oh yeah, that
Which-
too.
which is funny because at this point, like, Dorn's pretty much done everything. He's grabbed the chair from his captain's position and put it on the dock, and you just see him sitting there looking out into the Valen Rapids, and you see like the aura of smoke just coming wafting up.
Well, I will be certainly happy to take a look around while the others are hacking away.
Perfect. Make an investigation check.
B, did you say something?
I was gonna say I'll join Hal. I'll
Okay.
help Hal.
Well, good, because I only got a 6.
I got a 21 in the event.
Nice. Wow. Really?
Yeah, 17 plus 4.
Oh, that's right. You got the circlet.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm like,
Smarts.
I was like,
Smart.
wait, B's not that smart. Wait a minute.
Got Tobias's headband on.
Yep. So you walk around a couple of the buildings, and some of the you look into one of the places that looks like a soldier's barracks. There's a hole in the roof. The building looks like it's had a year of weathering, and especially with the snow that comes in, you immediately smelled like the mildew and the dampness of it all. It seems like a couple of critters had made a home in here and have since moved on, but it generally seems like it's been not looked after, or it just left alone, and nature's starting to reclaim its space. But it lines of beds. You see footlockers that have been like kind of turned over. Contents are spilling onto the floor, but it's just various pieces of clothing that are now just ruined. Anything of quote unquote worth doesn't look to be around. It seems to either been picked, or it's not in a completely obvious spot. You round into the main hall. Into the main hall of Port Delorn, which is this giant building basically nestled on top of a hill overlooking, like a small hill overlooking the dock and the Valen Rapids itself. And you go in, and what you see is a pile of bodies, just like looks like a full-on massacre had come in here, and they all are hobgoblin, a couple of humanoid looking bodies, although it has been quite some time. So the decay process and whatever sort of critters have come in and picked at the bodies as is. But you see what is basically just like a giant scene where there are just bodies everywhere. And some of them have their heads ripped off. There's arms ripped apart. It's just like full on, like away from the body and sockets and whatnot. It's like what should have been just a regular mess hall or like a gathering place looks as if it's just something happened here that really is a rather brutal scene.
Yeah. I don't think Ron S did this, do you?
I mean, he was fairly angry. Seems rather much for that, though.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, if I was just swallowed by a dragon, I'd be pretty angry too.
Well, yes, but you'd also, I assume, would take that out on the dragon, which you tore your way out of.
Hmm? Yeah, this kind of looks like someone like his handiwork. Like if you can kill a dragon that easily or like stop it by holding its tail, kind of looks easy.
Oh well.
Yeah, it seems messy. I mean, really, I thought the decaying dragon was going to be the worst thing I smelled today, but here we are.
Things not right here. I don't know why. Why would all of this have been left? Was everyone in the town killed before the goblins and the hobgoblins got here? And then
Oh, everyone was like fleeing and running. It was actually kind of like panicky. Like I think Diamondback and I got on like the last vessel to leave,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was pretty quick actually.
everything just
They were
went to shit after that.
What was that?
And then everything just went to shit after that.
Yeah, we just kind of went off into the distance. It was all like Buddy stopping the dragon and then chaos and flames and screaming and all that stuff.
GT, why do you hate us? Giving us a no curse. That's betrayal.
Mhm.
Welcome to my top 10, my Watch Mojo's top 10 anime betrayals.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. We can't communicate now. Sensei.
roleplay over.
We're not allowed to speak no more. I wanted to spice things up. Happy New Year.
Yes, indeed. Would I be able to take a look to see if what would be a good question for such a massacre? Were they all killed here or killed and then dragged here?
Make an investigation check.
There we go. 21.
21. A lot of the signs you don't see with blood trails really, or yeah, you don't really see blood trails anywhere. And like there are signs of dragging, but it doesn't seem to be like in far distances. given that this place is still kind of in nature and nature's kind of come in and done its work, a lot of the stuff has been kind of erased,
Washed away with the rain.
kind of like that, or the snows would come in, or animals would do their thing, move in and out. But generally, you're not seeing any real evidence of like people being brought in or like killed and dragged in here.
Mm.
It looks like it's very much on site.
So if all this massacre just happened here, were they... Do you think they were trying to attack him and he just, in his way, said no?
Like they probably didn't know if he was friend or foe.
I mean, I have to assume that he imagined everyone was foe. I mean, he, strictly speaking, doesn't belong in this plane. Well, at the very least, I can say that if there were any orcs or goblins or hobgoblins that survived, they probably don't want to come back here. So, in that regard, at least, I think we can call this area safe.
We just leave it be here, and when we leave, do you think we should burn this whole town down? I mean, there seems to just be death everywhere.
I mean, burning it would certainly clean the awful away, but it would also prevent us from learning anything more. It would simply be more or less giving up on seeing if there's anything more to learn.
Right, and it'll also draw attention because a big smoke pile
That's true.
True.
on a place that has kind of been empty for a bit.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Okay.
It smells pretty bad.
Astarion just has a handkerchief that he's draped over his entire frozen face and has enchanted to smell like strawberries.
Which eventually just doesn't smell like anything because your brain will naturally just tune it right the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little bit more investigation, especially with the 21. You do find some food stores that haven't been rummaged through. They seem to be well preserved, actually.
Oh, we're eating food tonight.
Yeah. So you got looks to be like some dried fruits that have been stored in a crate that just hadn't been touched. Look to be have touched in a while. A little bit of jerky, and that's kind of it, and some salted fish.
I'll certainly happy to try the salted fish. Shame there's no cheese, but beggars and choosers, as they say.
Probably wouldn't have been very good by now. Everyone's been dead for a year. So it's like wine, isn't it? Doesn't wine get better with age? Does cheese get better with age too?
I think it depends on the cheese. And the situation in which it is being aged, say, in a wine cask or not around corpses. Ah, well, let's at least head back and tell everyone what we found, and
We're not sleeping here tonight.
nearby, perhaps, but no, not here.
We've been roughing it. We might as well continue to rough it.
Yeah. So, you head back out at this point. Howard and Spleen are still cracking
Cracking bones.
bones and harvesting a dragon. The fortifications of this place have been all but dismantled. The large walls that have been semi-protecting this place beforehand seem to have been taken down with the giant dragon that had coming through. That being said, it was yeah, it's like this place is derelict. Best way to put it. So, where you want to set up is completely up to you, but the sun is setting. Better yet, the sun has already set, so you guys are pretty much dancing lighter torches, bringing everything around.
Mm-hmm.
In the light of the moon.
The light of the moon.
I'll start setting things up next to one of the walls so we can at least have part of one direction a little bit more secure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So easy enough. You find an easy spot for a decent fortification, or at least what you would consider one. You start lighting up a fire, get everything up. Dorn comes in and actually had a fishing rod with him. He picked up a couple of river fish while he was at it too. Looks like a couple of river sturgeon had coming up. He was like,
Hello.
"Look at what I got.
Very
We'll be
nice.
eating good tonight."
We got some goods too.
Oh, even better. All right. Y'all got a table or something?
Uh,
Or
I
do I
guess-
gotta go find something inside a house?
well, no, we could kind of create one. Hal, you want to make a disc, and I'll make a dome while you're at it. It'll kind of serve as a table for about an hour.
I mean, not with the disc. It's... What?
You could set things on it. Why not?
You guys are just so much. I'll go find a table.
A whole
Well,
table?
let's go grab a table. We'll just go take one of them from inside.
Yeah.
This...
All right.
We normally just eat on the floor.
The
Yeah, but I'm
fucking
prepping the
disc-
fish. That's the thing.
You don't want to prep those in the dirt or on a disc that only lasts about 10 minutes. So,
Nah, I'm pretty good at
Less than
prepping
an hour.
fish.
well, I guess it does last an hour. It takes 10 minutes to cast.
We're
didn't
going
wanna
to get
waste-
a table. We're going to
Yeah,
get
while they're talking, be like, well,
At this point, you spleen B, you come back with a table. You go back into the corpse house, and then you go, or the corpse hall, and you you grab a table, you set it up. Dorn basically sits it down. And he's like, "Mind if I use one of these?" And he like points out one of your bigger knives. He's like,
Yeah.
"Cool." Does this. He just starts. He starts filleting these fish left, right, and center. It's like boom, 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 and he's like, he has like a couple of really long, extended like fingernails. It doesn't look like he really trims down. At this point, he just starts picking bones out with them, almost like makeshift tweezers. Just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, these are good to go. Y'all got any spices on you?
I have some salt.
Perfect. That's all we need. He starts doing that and just starts sprinkling some stuff around. Sprinkling the salt around. All right, this is what we're gonna do. And he grabs he goes out, grabs a stick. He starts he basically skewers it to a point where it flops onto it, and he just sets a stick over the fire. And it's like, all right, we'll have fish. We've got all that stuff there. We'll be good.
We did confirm the dragon is indeed dead.
I can smell that from here.
Mm-hmm. I can't really
we
smell
can
it much
confirm-
anymore at this point.
Hmm.
We
were
can
around
confirm
for a
that
while.
smell is not entirely dragon.
Oh yeah?
Unfortunately
body
not.
A whole hall of bodies of just dead goblins and hobgoblins and some humans and just death.
Huh.
You didn't happen to take a closer look at any of the humans, did you?
No, but we didn't touch them. They're in the house.
Certainly, for now, I doubt they're going anywhere. He
Yeah.
looks briefly he glances briefly.
The humans that you saw in
Yeah,
there, the humans that you saw in there were Falskallan military, in Falskallan military attire, or general common wear, but more or less still having an adornment of Falskallan military. This was a military outpost.
Mm-hmm. That answers Howard's question.
So that should have been described beforehand, but
Bad dragon.
Yammer, are you gonna wake up in the middle of the night and go make friends?
Mm, I can do that now, so it's not in the middle of the night, if that's an issue.
Or is it better to do in the morning?
That-
Before we leave.
Yeah, I guess that's probably better.
Or do
what
we just
are you
make
talking
friends?
about?
Oh,
His special talent.
I have a talent for making friends.
If that's what you call it.
and
Was
they're
that
really
thing-
good friends.
Yeah, what's that thing the people that are all about save the environment, they Rikiki? Rikiki.
What?
Rikiki.
Oh,
Where you have something and then instead of just destroying it, you can reuse it. Rikiki.
Recycle?
No, it's Rikiki.
It's Ricky.
Oh no, I think she's right. It does have an L in there somewhere. Can we split the difference and call it Rikikal?
Rikiko.
Rikigel?
This is gonna be weird coming from me, but Spleen's right. In Goblin, it is pronounced Rikiki.
Yeah. Looking at me like I'm freaking crazy.
Y'all gonna be acting smart all night.
Oh, I
Oh, we
assume
shut
I'm
up
not acting.
eventually.
I think that's the kindest thing anyone's ever said to me in a while.
We don't get better, if that's what you're asking.
Says you.
At least that's
I
what
get-
people tell us.
I get graders. Great. Better. Best. Gooder.
Yeah, after a while, the fish, the smell of the fish starts outweighing the cooking fish. Starts outweighing the smell of the dragon. You guys are starting to get real hungry, and eventually it does get cooked up. and you pull it out, and it's like it starts flaking off, and so Dorn cuts it up into like little personal sized fillet bits, and you start just eating at it with your hands, and it is fresh fish. It is delicious, even with just salt.
Yep.
Yep. It's honestly very very filling, and then you get the dried fruits and the jerky on top of that too, mixed in with a bit of rations. You guys actually have a decent meal going in with that.
I'm go
White
ahead and
sauce, everyone.
set up a dome for us while we're all fat and sassy, and keep us that way, nice, warm, and keep the smell of the dragon at bay, and everything else.
Yeah. And so yeah, it doesn't take too long to set up the dome. You all go in, and it smells of beautiful roses. And I'm just gonna start skipping ahead unless you all got some role play.
I am gonna send Diamondback more messages in the night. Just whatever messages anyone has to relay, and chatting with them here and there.
All right, so what I'm gonna get you to do is I'm gonna get you to write Tom, and I want him to reply back.
Oh shit, y'all! We're gonna have to do that before next game.
But I mean, write it out now. Go send it to Tom right now and tell him to reply in voice.
What does anyone want to say?
It doesn't.
Remember, you only have
Mm-hmm.
the limitations of a message
Mm-hmm.
or sending, I guess.
I gotta find a chat. There it is.
You also have to tell him he has a limit on his words too.
Yeah.
I heard that.
I did too.
All right, so if you're gonna do that, the dawn rises and the night eventually goes away. You all feel very safe and very warm inside the hut. Dorn definitely did not look like he was overly comfortable with the fact of having to share a space with people, but also appreciated a nice warm place to sleep, and the fact that you convinced him that the bubble is safe, the bubble is life. He kind of respects it, especially since he tested it out himself, being like, oh, I can't see this shit at all, and then walks in and is like, okay, this is actually like a shelter. That being said, the dawn rises on a new day. There's clouds covering most of the sky, so you see the bits of the sunbeams coming through, just stippling the land that's around and the Velen Rapids itself. Dorn's already up and at the dock, still just sitting on his chair, smoking whatever little pipe weed he's got with him. So he's just like sitting, enjoying the very simplistic life that he's got. And so you guys all pack up your things. What do you do?
Um,
Well, I suppose we still have to keep heading toward the eastern pillar, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Right.
Does the blood or entrails or acid or anything trailing away from the dragon go very far?
No, not really, because it kind
Okay.
of, I mean, a white dragon is cold by nature. So a lot of stuff kind of just like naturally spread out and then just kind of froze. And because
then
it's still
been
kind of
a long
cold.
time too, so traces
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, so like if it starts thawing out, it just seeps into the ground instead of just a pool of stuff. Yes, Yimmer, I heard you about friends. I mean, you do find suitable bodies.
I'll go with a human.
Okay. You find a corpse that is in relatively decent shape. Armor still on, but like definitely reeks a bit. And as soon as you animate him, he stands up. One arm falls right out.
Oh,
Whoops.
that's unfortunate.
Every time.
Yeah. I really should go with the ones without armor because it always weighs them down. Well, welcome. You're gonna follow me. You do have a bit of an angry looking smell though, so maybe stay a bit back. And yeah, I'll come up with a name for you soon, friend.
Yeah. It's just the lifeless look on this person. Like, definitely had a long beard, but like, it's kind of just half shorn off just because of like the pure decay, decomposition. You see like a little maggot just kind of pop out and pop back in into a little flesh pocket that it had created for itself.
Well, say hi everyone. This is our newest friend. And yeah, hopefully the smell goes away.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So at that point, so you guys split your ways off with Dorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's bid him adieu.
He packs his stuff up. He catches a couple extra fish for you guys, and gives them to you.
That's nice. Thanks.
Yeah. Y'all are weird, but I like you. If you ever come back, feel free to talk to me. And he just he goes back out on his barge. He pushes off, and you just start seeing him push away.
There he goes.
Here he goes again.
Which funny point of order. The oar. You guys see him push it, but every time he pushes it, you see him just behind, and the only way you could have ever seen it was from behind. It's just like this flash in the water itself.
From the ore?
Yeah.
Oh.
Magical ore.
Interesting.
Magical ore.
Do you think that we would be able to just continuously spam shape water to get back, or should we see if we can find him again?
I feel like we could try and it might work, but it'd be very dangerous.
I can just walk across.
That's a long way to walk, Yim.
Yimmer walking on rapids. The way I see it is, you're walking. Walking on water is like walking on an escalator.
It's like walking on a waterbed.
It was like a waterbed escalator where basically you're being pulled with the current still, even though you're not in the water itself.
So just being thrown around.
That's funny.
It's
He's
just a slapstick skit. He keeps falling and getting up and falling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right, guys. I'm all right. Good.
Trips into the whirlpool and just keeps rolling and rolling.
I'm just going to take the ring off. I'm done with this.
All right. So the day is yours. What are you up to?
Let's get dangerous. Eastward and
Eastward.
clownward.
Excellent. All right. I would like for you guys to make survival checks, please.
Woo!
Oh boy, I'm so good at those.
Survival.
No, come back. Oh, that works.
Oh, yay.
baby.
All my good rolls have caught up.
Okay, so Beatrice.
6.
Oh, adorable. Howard.
16.
Spleen.
A 6.
Woo!
Y'all have a D8, you know.
There's no as a natural one.
No.
There's no
Oh,
saving this
no.
one.
Oh,
Yimmer.
Natural 20 for 26.
damn.
Damn. And Housterian.
8.
Wow. To be fair, Yimmer would be the person who knows how to get to follow these tracks since he's been here.
He's been here. Yeah.
He's been here, he done that, although paying attention.
Independent memory.
He's a responsible Yimmy is now. Was he then? No.
Well, muscle memory, I think, at this point.
He's just following his shroom forage spots. He's like, he just picks a little flower, tinkles a little bit.
Tinkles a little bit. He said tinkle. What the fuck?
Oh, sorry. He picked up a mushroom and took a wicked piss.
Yeah. If you're gonna piss like you mean it.
You can see like a half blown through log.
What the fuck?
Well, you said do it like you mean it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You
his
piss with all your heart.
Rickegels is really working.
His Rickegels.
It's Rickegels.
God. I'm sorry. I had to. It was right fucking there.
It's Rickegels.
All right. So, while deciding to try and pick a direction you're going, there is still very much like the royal road that's been left to decay and very much in a very, very bad shape. It's you definitely start following that, but there are points where trees have started growing through, and nature's started reclaiming a lot of the roads, so you can find a lot of the stuff, find your path and around, but it starts getting more treacherous the further east you go. That being said, the landscape here seems to be much more rocky than the western side of the Valen Rapids. It looks to be just very unpolished, untilled land. Not a lot of things that really built themselves out here. You see the odd hut here or there, but long gone. Or you'll see like the traces and remnants of maybe a cart or two, but again, it's just not signs of dereliction. Half the day goes by and you're making decent headway, or at least you think you are, in the eastward direction. At this point, you guys kind of stop for lunch a little bit, and Yimmer, I know you're immediately going to go start looking for shrooms because that's just what you do.
Yeah.
And with that survival check, yeah, I'm just like, we're bringing that one throughout the day. You're finding mushrooms left, right, and center, all on tree logs, under moss, in the moss. Your mushroom senses are just hitting all the right spots.
Tingling. No.
No, say it. Say it.
Nothing. No.
No, what was that? Hmm?
I was saying your mushroom is hitting all the right spots. Right.
It's a Slot and Peel testimonial right there.
Yep.
That being said, yep.
Yep.
Eventually, the land starts turning into more of like what's the best way to put it? It's not like a marsh where you have like little pockets of land that are being separated by water, but it's like actually that is pretty much the best way. It starts turning into a bit of a marshland.
Yep.
There's a lot of like groundwater that has been seeping up and making a lot of those areas a lot more treacherous to walk just because of the sheer water and whatnot.
Like it's not necessarily flooded with water, but there are pockets where there is damp ground and sinks into mud and water a little bit here and there.
Exactly. And I mean, you do see like what are like mountains of land that are higher up and seemingly like the water's kind of naturally started settling a lot of that soil and kind of semi-eroding it away.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the start of a mangrove pretty much. It's at this point you keep on walking through, and it's quite treacherous at this point, but you see what looks to be like a you see like a corpse, like I say a corpse, but like a downed elk that are like, it looks like it's been fed on a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's been fed on a little bit, but it looks recent.
Oh, suspicious.
Fed on by like normal animal or like that's the right way to ask this.
With a knife fed on?
Well,
Like,
it's hard to determine anything from where you are. Your guys are about 50 foot back. And it looks to be on like an island. There's a couple, like a bunch of trees and around it, but you can definitely see like you can definitely see this body.
I'd rather not get my boots wet at this point, but
I was gonna say
Your boots are already wet.
Mm.
he's still gonna say it.
He's just in denial now.
Sassy Boots doesn't want to have sassy boots.
I'm using prestidigitation every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Drying
I use
his
steam
boots,
cleaner.
they're inevitably going to be wet immediately afterward again.
Wait, is Yimmer able to just like walk on top of?
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, dry boots. Which is probably good given how short Yimmer is as well.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's there.
Cool.
It's hard to determine like what you want from it. You have to get closer if you want to really. Yeah, if you want to.
Do we get closer to that, or do we stay away? What is everyone's thought?
I think you should cast Fly on Spleen.
I
Done.
can just like, what the fuck? Whoa! You didn't even let me finish what I was saying. Oh gosh, how do I use this again?
Wait, so do you cast Fly?
Yeah, it's Fleen.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I'm gonna just.
Okay, so you fly through the air. Yeah, you fly through the air, you get closer to this thing. Yeah, you get closer to this thing. You immediately get closer and you notice that there's a snare. Yeah, there's a snare on one of its legs. I need for you to make an investigation check or no, nature check.
Nature.
Yeah, a nature check. Nature.
It's 15.
Is 15. You look at the wounds and it looks like it was in the middle of getting dressed.
It was getting
Like
what? Like
dressed.
oh.
Yeah.
Well, oh.
Like it's yeah.
Cleaned and dressed.
Not like putting on clothes, like
Not
getting
clothes.
dressed, like blood
Like,
drained and
what?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god! Thank
My
God,
brain-
Jerry.
My brain went through it too, and then I was like, "Wait, no."
Yeah, I know. I was like, "What?" Okay, I know this is a fantasy world, but you can't.
Don't
Be
look.
careful with your wording there because I'm be like, oh my god,
You can't
This
just do
fucking
that to
tunic-
someone
this
while they're
tunic
getting
is
dressed.
poor Tunic.
It's like be careful with my wording. I'm using the proper terms.
His 9-to-5 job uniform. It says Jerry on the name tag.
Jerry the elk.
Yep. What the hell? So there's a snare trap. Sorry, excuse me. Ha! And then like that wasn't triggered?
No, it was triggered. It's around one of its it's around its legs.
Oh, okay. Why is there an elk just here? Can I look around of any movement in the trees? Like someone is
Make a perception check.
okay. Ooh, it's not bad at all. Perception, that's 21.
Nice. You're looking around for any sort of perception. You're just like left, right, center. You're not seeing any movement.
I'm a hunter. I fly back to them. Okay, so elk was snared, and looks like someone or something was in the process of
dressing it, not putting clothes on or taking them off, you know. Never mind. I thought it was a funny joke. Prentice, but I don't really see anything in the trees or like any hunter. I don't know. Hold on, let me go back. Can I look at like, is it fresh? Is it not? Is it?
It's relatively fresh. Yeah. It's like, okay, so if you're over it, what are you doing? Are you on the ground? What do you like? Describe to me.
I'm
where
just
you
kind of
at.
like floating. Oh, like if this is the corpse. If this is the corpse, this is me. I'm like wee wee wee. Wee. That's kind of what I'm doing.
She's trying to stay right side up
I
and
know I'm
just
trying, but I keep like tilting. I'm like, I do we want the meat?
Probably not.
We've got fish.
Okay. Other than that, it's really nothing. And we have more important fish to fry.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Floating around. Okay, I'm coming. It's it's nothing.
As you're floating away, Team
The
Dem.
elk stands up.
God.
Have you forsaken me?
I know, like a demonic elk with human hands. Who?
No, it's at this point. You see about 3 ropes come out from one from the bushes, 2 from over top the trees, come down, and you see them lasso themselves around Spleen's. One of them is Spleen's arm, other one hits the neck, and another one hits a foot. Boom. You see 3 goblins just jump out and yank down.
Oh, it's on.
Yank down. At that point, Spleen, you're good. I was gonna get you to roll a dexterity saving throw, but because I rolled a natural 20
Oof.
on it, on the one that went around your neck, you're at this point now dropped to the ground, and you are stunned for a turn.
Okay.
At this point, and that's where I'm gonna call tonight's session.
Hey, gobbos.
no.
Hey, gobbos. Man,
We're starting
there you
with
go.
goblin slaying.
Goblins are annoying, y'all. They're really annoying.
Yep. All right. So let's go find a person to raid. While we're doing that, I want to thank everybody else for coming out tonight. But before we go, we're going to make some ending announcements. One is FX May Vary. Thank you for sponsoring us. And we also have a Patreon. Patreon. And please help the Dire Bear community support so that we can continue to create more shows and everything that goes with that. Join us for the Monday show. Melody of the Maelstrom. They start every other week, and with that, the Tuesday show, which is what is it called now?
Starts with an A. 2 A's.
Alonzi.
No.
Abomination Alley.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Abomination Alley. Every Tuesday, our GM Jason puts on a pretty good show, and it's in the GURP system, I believe.
Murder mystery.
It's just
BRP, basic roleplay.
the basic roleplay. Yep.
As we
New system that isn't
became the burps.
5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. That being said, pickles.
Why?
Pickles. No, I'm trying to see if I'm remembering. Join the Dire Bear Discord. We've got a bunch of people there. We got the merch. Please buy our merch. We got a lot of fun stuff. I'm currently wearing the Dire Bear sweatpants. It's with the embroidered logo on it. It is holding strong and it's absolutely great purchase. We got a whole bunch of different stuff that supports the LGBTQ, the our own channel and everything. But that being said, the Dirty Rollers, if you want to go raid those guys,
Yeah.
let's do it up. That being said, it feels great to be back. I love you all. And that being said, do you dare to imagine? Have a good night, guys.